Congratulations on taking the first step to a healthier future for you and your family. Your access details to the first challenge will be received in your inbox via email. So if you just pop across there, you'll be able to access all that. But there's a lot more steps to go, as you can appreciate, before you achieve success. In the first challenge, we're going to really start to look at regulating the insulin levels. And the very first thing we're going to look at to start to regulate those insulin levels is your carbohydrates, and also developing a consistent habit around planning out your meals, which is something a lot of people don't do. A lot of people do not plan out their meals accordingly, which means they end up buying things in that is not going to serve their ultimate goal, and which ends up in disaster essentially. So that's one of the challenges we're going to be doing in the first challenge, and as well as looking at the difference between your simple to complex carbohydrates. But that is just the first stage to regulating the insulin levels. There is a lot more to this jigsaw puzzle than that. So what I would like to do is I'd like to offer you an action takers offer of £24. Now that's a massive saving of £35 because the program itself actually retails for £59. So if you take action now and gain access to the whole program, including the support and everything, you'll be able to get your hands on it for £24. Now, just to give you a very, very quick recap of what you get. So you'll get access to all 7 challenges. Now, those challenges include, so you already know what the first challenge is, but the first challenge is actually split up into 2 sections. And the second part of challenge 1 is actually available inside the members area. So you'll start that on week 2. And that's where you really start to understand how much carbohydrates you need to be consuming relative to your activity levels and relative to your goal, which is really, really super important. So there's one thing, introducing, switching your simple to complex carbohydrates, which is what we're focusing on to start with. But you really need to get those levels correct relative to your goal. Okay, so that's the next stage of the second part of challenge 1. Challenge 2 is where we really get to grips of the regulating the insulin levels. So we look at how we can best manage our sugar intake and what we're looking for on labels and things like that. In the third challenge, we are going to look at reducing our acidity levels internally, because that can contribute to inflammation in the gut. And it can also cause the body to store fat around our organs as well, which is obviously what we want to avoid. So that in challenge 3, that's where we start to look at really alkalining the body and balancing the body's pH. In the fourth challenge, this is where we start to accelerate our natural healing potential. So we really start to dive into, if anybody's ever done a liquid diet at all, this is where we start to dive into that. But we address that in a more controlled and responsible manner, making sure that the body's there's no overwhelm to the body, and making sure that the body's still getting everything that it needs nutritionally, which is where a lot of people tend to go wrong when they engage in any liquid programs. Challenge 5 is where we start to reintroduce our solid meals very, very slowly and gradually, because again, once we've rested the gut and we've accelerated that healing process, we don't want to undo all that good by causing overwhelm to the body, overwhelm to the gut, by introducing solid food, three solid meals a day, back into our daily diet too quickly. So that will be your 5th challenge. Challenge 6 is where we start to look at making sure you're delivering enough protein into your diet, again relative to your goal and relative to your activity levels. And then challenge 7 is where we start to look at the right sort of snacks to introduce in between meals, again relative to your goal and everything, because what, depending on your goal, will depend on what sort of snack you would generally tend to have. And your bonus challenge is where you will dive into really knuckling down on those lifestyle habits, which we do touch on in the we do go into in the 18-week habit creator, which there's a tour inside the members area of how to use that. But if you haven't got cracking with any lifestyle elements, that bonus challenge is where I encourage you to really get to grips on that. So you've got all your resources and guides for you to refer to anytime you get stuck. You've got your accountability group, which has themed days to keep you motivated and inspired. You've got your weekly Q&A, which if you have any questions that pop up, that's when you can email them across to me and I will cover them in the weekly Q&A. I do say to email them across because it just saves me from what you'll find there'll be several people that will have the same question, but they'll ask it in a slightly different way. So rather than me waste time repeating myself and repeating the same answer to the same question again in the hours Q&A session, it's much easier that I have all the questions to hand and I can work through them accordingly, and it saves me from repeating myself all the time. So just to clarify, the 18-week habit creating tool that you'll receive in the post, that actually is a whole different set of habits that you will be diving into. So it mainly looks at you tracking and monitoring certain nutrients that you need to include every single day. So it becomes routine and becomes habit, and you monitoring how much you are consuming of these things as well. So if you are struggling with energy and you're really feeling really fatigued, then there's monitoring these things within the habit creator is going to be really important for you improving your energy levels, because that's when we really start to dive into the nutrients that the body needs on a daily basis to assist energy production and brain function. Inside the members area you also get access to a series of video tutorials which will essentially teach you how to get the body working smarter. So there's absolutely tons of content inside the programme, and you can get your hands on it for £24 on this page now. So to get started, just click the link below and I look forward to seeing you over on the other side.